Wasn't that phenomenal? Thank you to the band. We appreciate them getting up early before they had to, so we appreciate it. Before we go any further, we'd also have another special presentation, so you please all rise and remain standing.
Oh, say, can you see by the dawn's early light what so proudly we hailed at the twilight's last gleaming, whose broad stripes and bright stars through the perilous fight o'er the ramparts we watched, were so gallantly streaming, and the rocket's red glare, the bombs bursting in air, gave proof through the night that our flag was still there. Oh, say does that star-spangled banner yet wave o'er the land of the free and the home of the brave?
Pledge of Allegiance, please. I pledge allegiance to the flag of the United States of America and to the republic for which it stands, one nation, under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all. You may be seated. Hello, Hornet family, and welcome back to the nest. Thank you for all the talented musicians. We really appreciate our high school students as well as our staff putting together this morning's wonderful presentation. As you know, we begin every meeting with an empty chair philosophy. It's nice to actually have students backstage, but we have an empty chair philosophy, and our philosophy here in Valley Center is that you mentally place a student in that seat and you make decisions, and we work collaboratively together on their behalf. So they're always front and center. 62,899,200,000. 62,899,200 seconds. 17,472 hours. Otherwise known as 728 days since the last time we had our entire staff together in this auditorium. It is so good to see you. You know, for many people, standing in front of over 500 people makes them feel a bit nervous. But you know, parents or teachers gave you some good advice on how to make you less nervous. Fill in the blank. If you get nervous when talking to a group of people, just imagine everyone in the audience is not naked. That doesn't help me a bit. I heard underwear, but naked I guess works for some of you. Dr. Bonner, we're going to do some more screening through our HR processes. So if you stand in front of people, I'm going to pretend, because we have other people presenting today, that if you're nervous in front of the 500 or so people that are here today, imagine all of them are part of your family. Just pretend like you're talking to your family, because that is our hope in USD 262, that each and every person feels they're part of this family. And so one of the things I need to tell you, and this is a little embarrassing, and my wife will comment on this later this evening, but 2 weeks ago I had a weird dream. And you'll see the tie here in a little bit. I had a weird dream that I walked in this auditorium, And it was for Convocation. I had my suit on, and I was preparing for the Convocation just like this morning. When I came in, the orchestra pit was lowered, and there were some people in it that I would guess the average age is around 80, and they were sitting in their underwear. Now, my understanding was they were going to perform, not sure of the performance, but they were going to perform as part of the Convocation. And we sat, and we sat, and we sat, and no one ever came. And I'm not sure down deep what that means and all those things, but maybe the connection between, obviously, one of those sayings that some of us heard, not all of us, was that if you're nervous in front of people, you imagine people in their underwear, which still doesn't work for me, by the way. But maybe it's tied to that, or maybe it's just for the last couple of years how things have felt at times. And so I'm so happy to see you. Thank you for coming, and thank you for wearing more than underwear. At this time, we have some special people that are coming up to provide a welcome for you. Those people will be listed up here in this order. If those people don't mind making their way over to the side, and I'll let you just introduce yourself and continue the transition. Our main goal today is to kick off the best school year ever by a few welcoming comments, then allow you all to meet some new faces and connect with ones you have seen before, to reflect on the past, to discuss the current, and plan for the future. As our motto states, we are embracing today, preparing for tomorrow. Valley Center is a very special place, as you will see here in a little bit, of all the welcoming comments and the people that want to connect with you today. They'll just spend a couple minutes each just visiting with you and connecting with you and providing you opportunities. First off is Ben Wilson, our president.
Morning. How's everybody doing today? All right. Well, welcome back to the beginning of the 21-22 school year, also known as COVID season 3. So I'm really hoping this is the season finale of this deal. So I've been on the school board about 20 months now, and so after Dr. Gibson asked me to come up here and talk to you guys, I was just trying to reflect. Hey, what do I say? What can I say to encourage you guys to continue on doing what I think is very important, and that's shaping our youth. So first I wanted to express my sincere thank you. You guys have, last school year presented many challenges I think we all hope we never face again. Thank you for being flexible. Thank you for your grit. Thank you for your perseverance. Thank you for making the best out of every situation we faced, and thank you for continuing to grind. You all took on every obstacle that was put in front of you and kept teaching through it all and shaping the minds of our youth. That's the true empty chair philosophy. So anything I say, I can't thank you enough. Give yourselves a round of applause, honestly. Second, I want to encourage you not to lose focus of why you decided to enter into education. If you're like me, other than your parents, teachers and coaches influenced your life a great deal. Heck, 22 years later, as I'm typing emails, I can still hear Mr. Irby in my ear. Don't end your sentence with a preposition. I got to go back and rewrite it. So I'm sure all of you have a similar story of why you got an education, because a teacher or coach positively influenced your life. And so I'm sure this is probably your why of why you entered into this vocation. So if you don't have a strong vision of your why, or constantly remind yourself of it, then it becomes more difficult to face those challenges, especially the ones we faced in the last 18 months. So I want to encourage you, reflect on it daily, write it down, get it in front of you. I have to do the same thing when I have hard days at my job too, and I promise you it'll make the rough days not so rough. So again, I want to offer my sincere thank you to every one of you in this room for continuing on and shaping the minds of our youth, and always remember your why. Wish you the best for this school year. Thank you.
Good morning, everyone. It's good to see you all here. Like Dr. Gibson said, it's nice to see all of us gathered together again after such a long time, and it's good to be back here in this auditorium. My name is Art Smith. I'm the pastor of New Hope Community Church, and I'm also the manager of Main Street Coffee. We were honored and privileged to offer to each one of you a gift card in your coffee mugs today, so please stop by and see us. We are right next to Eden's Auto on Main Street. But more importantly, I'm here to represent the Valley Center Ministerial Alliance. We are a group of very active 9 churches that are here to serve not only Christ, but to serve the needs of this community, of which you are an integral part. This year, you're going to face a lot of challenges. We would like to partner with you in those challenges. If something does come up that you believe that we can help you with, please reach out to us. You can get a hold of us through various people throughout the community here in the USD 262, but you can also find us on the web. We have a web page. It's VCMA Valley Center. So if you need anything from us, please don't hesitate to contact us. And be reassured of all of our continued prayers for you throughout this coming school year. Thank you all very much.
Good morning. My name is Sarah Warren. I'm a teacher here at the high school, and I'm just here to talk to you about a resource that we have for you here in Valley Center. So I'm the president of a local nonprofit here called From the Ground Up, and if you haven't heard of us, that's okay. We're still fairly new. We just started last year, but hopefully you've heard of something called the Hornet Hangar. The Hornet Hangar is located inside of the intermediate school, and what it is a community-based project, and we provide clothing, coats, hats, shoes, gloves to students in need here in the district. And so we were started in August of 2019 after some of our students had a need for clothing, and the teachers wanted to help them. So with the help of some of the local churches, the Ministerial Alliance has been very helpful to us. The maintenance staff here was very helpful, and just different individuals and groups. We were able to completely gut the old boys' locker room inside the intermediate school and renovate it and turn it into a clothing closet for our students, and that is provided to them at absolutely no cost to them or their families. And so a lot of times we get asked 3 main questions, and those are, how do I get access to it for my students? Are you taking donations, which is a big one? And then how can I volunteer? So as far as access, we designed the project with you guys in mind because you do know your students better than anybody besides their families. So you always have access to it. We just ask that if you have an immediate need for clothing, if there's an accident or something, you just give the office at the intermediate school a call, let them know you're coming, and then they'll be able to help you out down there. If you have a family, full family, 8, 5 kids, whatever, that needs clothing, we ask that you send us an email or let us know, and we can help them out that way as well. When it comes to donations, right now we are taking donations of kids' clothing. So if you have kids' clothing that you would like to donate to us to give to the students, we'll happily take that off your hands. We are also taking donations of hangers at this time. So you can email us or shoot us a Facebook message, and we will take those from you. And then we also have several different ways to volunteer throughout the year. So one of our biggest opportunities is the Back to School Fair. So we actually were able to hold that event this past weekend, and it's a really great opportunity for the students to get ready for school. We partner with hairstylists and just different people in the community. And so I'd love to share some of those numbers with you. It's a really exciting time just to be able to get the students prepared for school. So on Saturday, we were able to serve 335 people, 230 of them being kids. We gave 62 haircuts, 35 sports physicals. We handed out 350 bags of popcorn. Breezies came and provided their services. They handed out 172 snow cones. And then we provided 220 kids with new clothing for the school year. We also, with different partnerships, were able to pass out 245 backpacks with school supplies, and we could not have done that without our 100 volunteers. I know a lot of people from the school district volunteered, and we love our volunteers because we could not do it without them. So obviously that event has already come and gone for this year, but we are planning to do it again next year. So watch out for information on that come summertime. We also have people who simply just do laundry for us. You know, I hate laundry. I don't do my laundry. But if you do love to do laundry, we would happily give you some laundry that you can take home, wash it, and bring it back for us. And that is a huge need for sure. Finally, we, for the last several years, have worked with VC Cares for Kids, or Christmas Kids as sometimes known, who provide assistance to families at Christmas time. And after many years of helping out our families in the district, they are no longer together. And so we are bringing up a Christmas program. It will be called Hornet Holidays. We don't quite know what that will look like yet. We're still working out the details. But if you keep your ears open for us, families that need assistance during Christmas time, if you want to volunteer, we will be sending out emails in regards to that as well. So we're very excited to see what the school year holds. Anything has to be better than last year, and it can only go up from here. My husband jokes, so last year was my first year teaching, and it was in SPED in Wichita in a new school district, and I was pregnant during a pandemic. So he said, seriously, like, you can only get better. So we're excited, but you can contact us. Our email is hornetshanger@gmail.com. You can email me personally. It's just sarah.warren. We also have a Facebook page if you would like to reach out that way. But please, if you have a need, reach out to us. We love to help, even if it seems like some crazy thing. We have made lots of connections, and we could probably find somebody who can help you. So we hope you have a great year, and if you need anything, let us know. Thank you.
Good morning. I'm Tasha Klein with Credit Union of America, and we're delighted to be here to celebrate the new year with you. I want to visit with you about Credit Union of America because we're a different kind of financial institution, and I'll tell you why. In 1935, at East High School, John Mishner, a science teacher, got together with 20 other fellow teachers. They each put $5 into a fund so that they could help each other take out loans, because if you recall, that was during the Great Depression. And it was really hard to get a loan from a bank. So that same year, we have our smallest loan on the books. It was 50 cents. It was for a new teacher who couldn't start his job until he got a haircut. So he repaid the loan back with his first paycheck. Fast forward to today, to the present time, we have over 85,000 members, and we are the largest state chartered credit union in Kansas. We were started by teachers, for teachers, and those who work in the field of education. So I hope you consider us part of your family as well. I want to highlight a few things for the teachers in the house. This will help you financially in your classroom. Teach, grow, and inspire the future. It's a $500 grant program. We award twice a year. It's an easy online application. Go to cuofamerica.com/TGIF. The next deadline is October 31st, and that information is on this bug slip that you got in those lunch pails. Another way that we can help you financially in the classroom is through a partnership with Project Teacher. I don't know if you're familiar with Project Teacher. They are the only Kansas classroom supply warehouse in Kansas, and you can shop up to 2 nights by registering at projectteacher.org. They partner with Joann Fabrics, Target, and a lot of other national retailers, Office Max, so they have things to decorate your classrooms. They have the coveted reams of paper. They have backpacks, anything you can imagine. When I volunteered there, I've literally helped teachers out with a big grocery cart of stuff. So please consider that instead of spending your hard-earned dollars. And for the paraprofessionals in the house, CUA has partnered with WSU's College of Applied Studies by offering $5,000 in scholarships. Paraeducators who are in the 2-year program, they earn a teacher of record, And as you all know, there's a teacher shortage in our state. And we just love supporting this program because you want educators who love being in the classroom. So this is a great way to elevate paraprofessionals. Let me close with a few ways that CUA can help everyone in the district with their personal finances. When you open a checking account, and it's just for those who work in the field of education, when you open a checking account with direct deposit, we're going to give you $200. And I think it was Carl Lee who came by our booth and he said, tell them to do it. It's free money. I'm cheap and they'll believe you. So anyway, come by and see us if we can help you with a checking account. The other thing we have is a guaranteed teacher loan. It is guaranteed because you're a teacher, and that the only thing that will disqualify you is a recent bankruptcy. You can get up to $1,500 at 6.99% interest, and you just pay that back over 12 months. Non-teachers are encouraged to apply for that loan as well. And then finally, auto loans. You guys, we are the #1 auto lender in Kansas, and I encourage you to come and visit Emily at our Rock Road branch or any of our other 13 locations. Let us look at your auto loan, and if we can save you money, we are happy to do so. And then lastly, I wanted to show you guys what those lunch bags look like with food in them, okay? So you just simply roll it down 2 or 3 times and then clip it. You probably want to put your name on your bag because we just gave out about 500, okay? And then inside is this QR code, and tomorrow we're going to be giving away a $50 Amazon gift card. So by the end of the day, if you'll take your cell phones out, take a picture of it, and enter to win, we may be contacting you tomorrow. So thank you so much, and have a wonderful school year.
Good morning, Valley Center. Great day to be a Hornet, isn't it? I have to admit I'm a bit tired this morning. Dr. Gibson woke me up in the middle of the night last night when I was in the orchestra pit in my underwear playing my trumpet. I'm just kidding. I play saxophone. Okay. If you don't know me, my name is Kenny Carter. I'm a retired Valley Center educator and a board member on the Valley Center School District Education Foundation. If you do know me, I'm sorry. Today I want to take a quick moment and tell you about the Education Foundation. Instead of the normal spiel, I thought it might be more fun and quicker to simply ask you a handful of true-false questions. So here's how it goes. I will ask a true-false question. If you think it is true, please raise your hand. So let's try a warm-up. Everyone get your arm like this, make an L, and if you think it's true, raise your hand. A couple of warm-ups first. Today is Monday. Group smarter than they look. Okay. Secondly, Brian Shelton is a great guy. It's too early in the semester for trick questions. I apologize. Okay, now for real. Here we go. True or false? The foundation was created in 2003 to help provide financial aid by way of grants for educators who have a great idea to further help out our students, but funds do not seem available through normal channels. Is that true? Yes, it is. These funds are provided by taxes and from our school district funds. That caught a few of you. The answer is false. All the funding for this program comes from donations. It comes from a fundraiser that the Board of Directors of the Education Foundation does, and also employee deductions. We have many people in this group who contribute by payroll deduction, as little as $5 to $10 a month or paycheck, and this money goes in to help special programs that may not be funded by the school district. If you'd like to join, there'll be information coming further. If you have a project idea and know that district, building, or department funds are not available, you should fill out an online grant application by September 30th to be considered for funding. Is it true? Yes, it is, okay? All requests are approved and funded, and the answer is no. We get a very high percentage of them, but not all of them. Since 2003, the foundation, listen to this carefully, the foundation has already provided over $100,000 to our district and our students, and that is true. One more time. Brian Shelton is a great guy. 10% increase. We're getting there, Brian. All right. Last question. This is the last you'll hear from me about this topic. And the answer, unfortunately, is false. Because you do not get enough emails this time of year, I will send out an email with a few bullet points this week guiding you to websites to get more information. I will also send out a reminder about a month and 1 week before the grant applications are due. In short, if you, your department, or school has an idea or a need and funds seem unavailable, please fill out a grant application, and also do not hesitate to contact any of the board members. Denise Newfer is also a board member, and she's an educator here, and I'll send a list of the board members out. But please get a hold of us and ask about your grant, and we can help steer it to increase your likelihood and percentage chance of being funded. So, mic drop, I'm out. Have a great school year. Bye.
Well, good morning. I cringed when I saw I was going after Mr. Carter because I'm not nearly as funny and entertaining as he is. But my name is Shelley Ballard. I'm a high school chemistry and physics teacher here, and I'm also the president of BCNEA, our teacher association. We're the ones who represent you at the bargaining table. We work to uphold the negotiated agreement. So I want to say, first of all, on behalf of BCNEA, welcome back for another school year. It does seem like forever since we've seen everyone. It doesn't need to be said that last year was by any means usual or expected in the teacher world, but you all did what teachers do. You stepped up, you stepped out of your comfort zones, you did things that you had never done before to ensure that your students had the best learning opportunity they could. And I know that you're going to continue to do that this year, regardless of what the year looks like. So I just want to say, welcome back. I wish you the most normal year that you can possibly have, and make it a great one. Thank you.
Good morning. I'm Aaron Cheddar. I'm from Valley Center Middle School, and I thought we'd have our own number on the morning agenda. We're the teacher representatives, and I think Dr. Gibson also wanted us just to move this to the side for who's ever talking next. So we're just going to move some things around before Addie and I get started. Again, the reason why I'm up here and Addie is up here, it's a new year, a fresh start, and Dr. Gibson had requested that we have some teachers come up here to share some perspective on the school year.
Hey everybody, my name is, oh dear, that's not supposed to happen. My name is Addie Shirley. I am an ELA teacher here at the Valley Center High School. Some of you might recognize me. It was a little over 5 years ago that I attended and graduated from this district. So I haven't performed on this very stage, so kind of crazy to be back here, but it's very fun. I'm excited to be returning in my new role, this time as a teacher. I earned my education degree at Wichita State University and have been learning and preparing all along the way to step into my very own high school classroom. Now, Aaron, if I'm being honest, I don't feel all that confident in coming into this year. I don't know if anybody in here also feels the same way, but my student teaching year was cut short due to COVID, surprise, and last year teaching English in a new district, it was all a very eye-opening experience. Trying to teach writing a thesis statement to 8th graders online, that was a little challenging, surprising, yeah. But, you know, when those kids come in on Thursday in the morning, they're going to be looking for someone to lead and instruct them. They're going to be looking at me. And you know, I've really tried to manage my time this summer and try to prepare, but I totally feel unprepared. You know, I still have lesson planning to do. I need to finish decorating my classroom. I want to make it feel fun and inviting, but also not too babyish. There's a fine line for high schoolers, you know. And now, people are starting to ask about, you know, learning losses. How are we going to deal with that? Mr. Lewis, do we have a plan? I don't know. I'm just kind of starting to freak out just a little bit. I mean, what are we going to do? Aaron, I don't even know the email login.
Whoa, okay, Addie, calm down. It's all gonna be okay. You're gonna be okay. Look, if anyone tells you that they know exactly what's gonna happen this year, that they're fully prepared for the year, they are lying to you. Lying. We are all just trying to do our best.
Mike just asked, how am I supposed to follow that? There's a reason I put him behind them.
Well, heck. You know, I just don't know what to say about that. Dr. Gibson, he always provides me opportunities. You know, some opportunities are a little better than others. I think this opportunity might be the worst one in a long time. So, like everyone that's been up here today, it is exciting to have everyone here. Roughly, if every single employee of the district were here right now, we'd be over 570 people. That's just amazing. And although we all come from different places, we all have different histories, and we all have different paths that's brought us here, I bet we have some things in common. So let's just see. So I want you to stand. So be ready to stand. I want you to stand if you are like me and a parent. So please stand if you're a parent. Look around and see how many people in this room are like us. All right, thank you. Continue standing if you are a grandparent. All right. How about those, if those would stand, people stand if you have less than 5 years in education or working in a school district. Less than 5 years. Awesome. Look at all of us. How about if you're like me and have more than 10 years? Lots of experience. What if you're like me and have more than 25 years? All right, we have some veterans. What if you're like me and have at least one pet? What if you're like me and have multiple pets? There you go. I have 6. Anybody beat 6? All indoor. All right. How about if you're like me and traveled out of state over the summer? Okay. Lots of us are able to do that. How about if you took a workshop or a college class this summer? Have some of those? We do. All right, so how about if since last May when we left, you are new to Abilene Elementary? Please stand. New to Abilene. All right. Welcome. How about if you're new to West Elementary? All right. What if you're new to Wheatland? There we go. There we go. How about new to the intermediate school? Middle school, new staff since last May. How about to the high school? Transportation, new staff at transportation. I know we have some. How about new in the food service? Very good. New to maintenance and grounds. They'll probably be out mowing. How about new to technology? I think maybe for the first time in a while, we have new staff in every single one of our departments this year. How about if you're an Ark Valley Special Education employee? Please stand. Welcome to our family officially. Couple more. If you have worked your entire educational career or your entire time in a school district in Valley Center. Look at all those, Hornet. Good job. And then finally, the last question, if you are like me and extremely proud to be here and to be a Hornet. Thank you. And this is a terrific place. It's a great family. Just reflect on a minute. I want you to remember that just like us, our students come to us with a variety of unique traits, life experiences, histories, and backgrounds, and skills. And just like us, they also have many things in common. And it's my desire for each of us individually, and then us together collectively, to wrap our arms around our students and love them even when they make it difficult to do so. Please strive to make each day in our classrooms and buildings the best for them, because you just never know if that might be the day that makes the biggest difference for them. So welcome back. We're ready to get going, and have a great year.
I'm going to do one more addition, Dr. Bonner. If you were one of our performers a little bit ago, would you please stand up? That was amazing. We appreciate you, and it just shows you this morning real quickly, for those that are new to the district, just how special this place is. Students performing, staff performing, giving of their time to prepare for today, and then of course the conversations we're having now. So we've had conversation about who's driving. Now we're going to transition real quickly into where we have been as a district over the last decade, and then we'll talk about where we're going next. So first things first, we're talking about the last decade. These are the points I'd like to clarify today, the points that I'm going to emphasize. But there's certainly a lot more that we could have we've left out that could have been included. So let's talk about strategic planning. Strategic planning, of course, is how we establish who we are, who we want to be, and the goals that we have in place. The first things, 2012, going back, we formally established goals, and those goals were really focused on academic performance and us improving as a staff. Then if you think back to those of you that have been around, 2013, that is when lots of things shifted. We created the vision statement, which we'll hear here in a little bit, the mission, the logos changed, and then we began strategic planning. VC Vision 2020 was our next strategic plan, which started in 2016. This is where we really talked about the broader things. We discussed about well-rounded students. We talked about career technical education in our high school, dual accredited enrollment, pre-K services. That's when that all started, was in 2016. Right behind that, KISA, which is our accreditation cycle, started the year after, and we are a fully accredited district as of this summer. And then 2021, which is the last year we just finished up, was our final year of both the accreditation cycle as well as our strategic plan. So this year is the year we begin the next cycle. Other milestones that are not related to strategic plan. In 2012 was our first all-day kindergarten class. By the way, they are freshmen this year. So they were the first group to go to kindergarten, and now they are freshmen. In 2014, we conducted the 25-year facility plan, which we still have. One of the few districts in the state, if not the only, that does a capital expense plan for 25 years out. In 2015, I should have said that one-to-one devices really came into play at that time. In 2015, we talked about a little bit ago, the rebranding of who we are as a district. In 2016 was the bond and reconfiguration of all grade levels except for the high school. So every building was touched except for the high school. And then in 2020, stand up again if you were in Ark Valley. I want you to look at this. Ark Valley staff. So this is the first year that we've obviously had our own co-op. Congratulations and thank you for joining our team. It was 35 years that 618, interlocal 618, was together. Ironically, do you know who was the host cooperative prior to that for all 9 districts? Valley Center. We were the largest district at that time in that group, Mays, Goddard, etc. So what's happened with our enrollment? Look back. So going back to 2011, enrollment was 2,600, a little bit above. Last year was 3,050, and as you know, most school districts across the nation lost some students to homeschool and other opportunities. Some kindergarten parents said, whoa, this may not be the year I send my kindergartner to school, so they've held them back a year. But from 2011 to 2020, we were the fastest growing district percent-wise in the metro. No one grew as fast as we did, and our trajectory will continue that way. What's happened with staff since then? So I know it's hard to see down below, But up at top, you can just see the number of FTE staff numbers. So how many staff? And when we look at this, look at this. Now that last one, of course, is what addition? Ark Valley. We've always considered you our staff, but you're actually on our payroll now. So you count as part of the USD 26 payroll. But look at the number of staff and how it's changed over the years as well. In 2012, when I came as superintendent, one of the stats that was not well known, and we did not publicize this is not good, was that Valley Center had the highest student to teacher ratio in the state. We're no longer there, which is one of the goals. We're about in the middle. As you know, our board has always valued our staff, and we went through some very, very lean times, as you know. And during that time, even though we went through lean times, we made staff a priority. And so between 2011 and 2022, if you were here that entire time, you've received about a 35% increase in pay over the last decade. And then some other numbers you can see is the teacher scale, how it's changed. The benefits have increased by 65%. And then more money of our budget is going towards instruction now than ever. It's really focused on the empty chair philosophy. So now we've talked about where we've been and who's on in the car with us. We're going to transition now to where we're going. Ms. Solner?
So whenever you work with a group of people and hello, hi, I should have started with that. Whenever you're working with a group of people and you're getting ready to ask them to do something, you want to make sure that you have some structures in place. So this is the structure we're going to have. If you take just a second and read that, please. Can you see it in the back? Is it large enough? No, I'm hearing. Okay, so when you will be given a task to do, please do the task when you're asked to do it. When the music starts, that'll be your cue to finish your sentence and then turn and look at the screen. So finish your sentence, stop talking, turn and look at the screen when you hear the music, and then I'll give you the next task. And we'll repeat that for a little while, giving you an opportunity to talk to the people next to you. Along with the empty chair, we also have our vision statement. And you'll see this quite a bit. And in fact, let's go ahead and recite this together. So on 3, 1, 2, 3. To be a premier school district known for excellence in education, innovative instruction, outstanding programs, and dedication to students. And so we say this a lot and we talk about it, but have we ever broken it apart? Let's just take this first part, to be a premier school district. What does that mean? So take just a second and think about that. Remembering that these are the structures we're going to follow, I'm going to ask you to turn and talk to the people next to you. What does it mean to be a premier school district? parade plans. It was a little hard to hear the music, but it is our own Valley Center, once again playing the fight song. So when we think about being a premier school district, it's important that we have the opportunity to think a little bit and to talk about what does it mean to be premier. So a couple of people out there with loud voices, would you be willing to stand and just share what does it mean to be a premier school district? One more time. Oh, you have volunteered somebody who doesn't want to be volunteered. Here we go. Perfect. Thank you for stepping up when you were volunteered, and that was probably a good volunteer. One more. The one that everybody actually wants to mimic. That was what was said here. So when we think about that, that's what we're working for, to be the premier school district. And in many, many ways, we're there. Now let's take this second part. Oh, by the way, oh gosh, this is going to be bad. Hang on. Well, it's not really bad, but it was on me. So I was stopping here to tell you how well you did on the structures. Let's just say this, you did better on the structures than I did running the remote for the first time. So we're good. Now, looking at the second part, known for excellence. Now we say known for excellence in education, but I want to tell you something a little bit about that. If you are sitting in this room, you play a vital part to the education of students. If you are a custodian, I guarantee you, students perform better in clean classrooms, correct? Correct. So if you're a custodian and saying, wait a minute, I don't teach kids, you make it possible. If you're an administrative assistant and you're out at the front of the school and you're talking to people who come in, you make education possible. Food service, grounds and maintenance, paras, teachers. So we all are part of excellence in education. So I want you to get a little bit specific. I want you to think about excellence in food service, excellence in first grade education, excellence in math education. And I want you to turn and talk to the people next to you about what does that mean for your role in the district? What does excellent in, and then you fill in the blank, look like? You coming up. You are 100% right, and we have a slide coming up for you. Oh, you're all right. All right, may I pull you back together, please? When we're talking about excellence, I named some of them, but there are so many of them. So for example, one I know that I didn't name was transportation. What other groups do we have that I did not name? Social workers, absolutely. School psychologists. Say that again? Parents as teachers, absolutely. Nursing. Aides. Library, learning support. So when we're talking, I was just giving some examples, but as you are continuing to think about it, in each of those areas, we are talking about excellence. So you're demonstrating exactly what we need to do, which is not just read excellence in education. We need to get a little bit more specific. What do we mean by excellence in education, and in what part do we play? I'm going to ask you to turn and talk to somebody now that you haven't had a chance to. So if that means you need to stand up to talk to somebody, by all means do that. But I want you to share with them, how would they know that there is excellence in your department? How would they know? What could they look for? What could they hear? What could they see? May I pull you back together, please? Thank you. Thank you. The pictures that you've seen up here, I just want to take a small moment to point out. These pictures were taken by Amy Pavlaka, who is our new communications director. She has been out and about taking pictures of all kinds of things that are happening, and you've likely seen her work on Facebook and Twitter, but she is the one who took all of these pictures. So thank you to Amy over there in the corner. So one of the things as we think about Premier School District, people can say, Adeline, we are Premier. And I would say, you're exactly right. And people would say, Adeline, we do have excellence in name it. And I would agree with you. 100%. That's where we are. When we start thinking about where we're headed, I want to remind you that very small changes make big progress. If you've been watching the Olympics, some Olympic watchers? Okay, when I'm watching the Olympics, the swimmers are not trying to get better by 3 seconds. They're trying to get better by 3/100ths of a second. And so when we think about the progress we're making, we don't need to get better by 3 minutes or 3 seconds. We're talking about 3/100ths of a second. How do we put those things together? And no matter where you are, there's so much that we think we need to do. In fact, many of you probably already think you're behind, and the kids haven't even gotten here yet. I want to encourage you to think about the small steps. If you do small steps today, small steps tomorrow, it's going to make big progress. And when we come back a year from now and we talk about what does premier mean, what does excellence mean, we will have made it that much farther. I look forward to all of the fabulous things you're going to do. Thank you so much for playing along with me, talking to each other.
So we've talked a little bit this morning about where we've been and where we'd like to be. And so this is a critical moment in our district's history. Lots of changes have already occurred over the last decade, and I think the momentum will continue that way over the next decade. I foresee us being one of the fastest growing districts. I see us making more radical changes that people look at and go, we want to be that district, premier. So it starts this year in how we look at where we're at. We anticipate that starting this fall, we'll start reviewing all the various data that we have in our hands. Then we'll start collecting feedback. We hope that over 2,000 people provide us feedback of what we're doing well and where they'd like to see us go in the future. That is our goal coming into next year. And by spring, we hope to adopt our next accreditation goals as well as strategic plan. And then next summer will be liftoff. As we start wrapping up together today, this is truly an exciting time. One thing I want us to keep in mind, and I know it's been mentioned many times, including in the song earlier, that we truly are a family. That doesn't mean there will be times where we don't disagree like families do, but we'll always have each other's backs. There's a little story about a student, let's say he's kindergarten, and the kindergarten student's name, let's just say Corey. The teacher was working with Corey, who was struggling with counting and adding. And the teacher says to the student, you have 2 mangoes, and I give you 2 more. How many total are there? And Corey responds, 5. The teacher says, no. I'm giving you 2 mangoes, 2 more. How many are there total? Corey says, 5. Teacher goes, grabs one of those lunch boxes, wherever they're at, pulls out her lunch box, pulls out 4 strawberries, pulls out 1, 2. Corey, how many are there? 2. I'm going to give you 2 more. And lays them out. And the student goes, 1, 2, 3, 4. How many strawberries are there? And the student says, 4. So the teacher goes, oh, good. So I'm going to go back to the problem. Corey, I'm going to give you 2 mangoes, give you 2 more mangoes. How many mangoes do you have? Corey says, 5. Teacher becomes frustrated. No. Remember the strawberries. We had 2 and 2. It was 4. I'm going to try this again. 2 mangoes. 2 more mangoes. How many you have? 5, teacher. I have 5. I have 1 in my backpack. So one of the things we have to keep in mind is everyone has various perspectives. And we're living in a world right now that's very divided, right? There's either yes or no, mask, yes, no, vaccination, yes, no. But together, I really believe we can be a beacon of hope for our community. That although that as a family, sometimes we'll disagree, we'll always have each other's backs. And so I hope that we take the time, that the teacher needed to really listen intently and understand the perspective of others this year. I think that's critical as we grow as a family. With that, I hope you have a great school year and do your best, is what I heard. So thank you. Take care.